Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was its legendary origin. The story of Rome's birth is filled with twists, triumphs, and tragedies. At the heart of it all stands one man, Romulus, the city's first king and founder. To understand Romulus, we must go back to a tale woven from myth and divine intervention. It all began in the kingdom of Alba Longa. Here, a prophecy would threaten a king and set the stage for the birth of Rome's legendary founder. The ruling king Romulus had seized the throne from his brother Numitor. Fearing his brother's descendants would one day reclaim power, Romulus took drastic measures to prevent Numitor's bloodline from continuing. He forced his niece Rhea Silvia into a life of celibacy as a Vestal virgin, ensuring she would never bear children. But destiny had other plans. According to legend, Rhea Silvia caught the attention of Mars, the god of war. In a miraculous union, Mars fathered twin sons, Romulus and Remus. Fearing the wrath of King Romulus, she hid the twins as long as she could. But the king discovered her secret and ordered the infants to be cast into the Tiber River, hoping the river would carry them to their death. But the gods were on their side. The basket drifted safely to the river's edge, where it came to rest. It was there that a she-wolf discovered the twins. Driven by maternal instinct or perhaps divine will, the she-wolf cared for Romulus and Remus, nursing them and protecting them in the wilderness. This image of the she-wolf and the twins would later become one of Rome's most enduring symbols, reminder of Rome's fierce, resilient beginnings. Eventually, a shepherd named Faustulus discovered the young boys and, with his wife, raised them as his own. Growing up in the hills of Latium, Romulus and Remus became strong and fearless, unaware of their royal lineage, but feeling a deep sense of purpose. From an early age, the twins displayed leadership, inspiring the local shepherds and defending the villages from bandits. Romulus and Remus grew up strong, brave, and admired by the people around them, but fate soon led them back to Alba Longa, where their true lineage would be revealed. During a skirmish, Remus was captured and brought to King Romulus. While in captivity, he learned of his royal lineage, that he and Romulus were the grandsons of the rightful king, Numitor. Romulus managed to free Remus, and together they met with their grandfather, Numitor. With the truth revealed, the twins vowed to reclaim their birthright and end Romulus's reign of terror. Under the cover of darkness, Romulus and Remus gathered a band of loyal followers. They stormed the palace, fighting their way through Romulus's guard. Though outnumbered, the brothers fought with a fiercely. The people of Alba Longa, tired of Romulus's rule, rallied behind them, and soon the palace fell into their hands. In the throne room, the twins confronted Romulus. With one final act, Romulus was killed, and Numitor was restored as the rightful king of Alba Longa. With their family's honor restored, Romulus and Remus set out to fulfill a new destiny. They left Alba Longa behind, heading for the land where they had been saved as infants, the future site of Rome. They returned to the banks of the Tiber River, where their lives had been miraculously saved. But even at this pivotal moment, rivalry arose between the brothers. Romulus favored the Palatine Hill, while Remus preferred the Aventine. Both believed their chosen spot was best for founding the city, but neither was willing to yield. To settle the dispute, they decided to seek an omen from the gods. According to legend, Remus saw 6 vultures first, a positive omen, but Romulus saw 12 soon after. Interpreting the omens differently, both claimed victory. Remus, however, saw this as an act of arrogance. Unable to accept his brother's claim, he decided to challenge Romulus's authority. To mock his brother's claim, Remus leapt over the boundary line, defying Romulus's decree and challenging his right to rule. In a fit of anger, Romulus struck down his own brother. With his brother gone, Romulus became the sole founder of Rome. He completed the walls and formally established the city in his own name. Though haunted by the cost, Romulus dedicated himself to building the city that would one day become an empire. Romulus took his first steps as Rome's founder. His first act was to fortify the Palatine Hill, the heart of the new city. To mark this sacred endeavor, he turned to the gods. In a solemn ceremony, Romulus made a sacrifice, calling upon the gods to bless the city and protect its future. He then took a plow and carved a deep furrow into the earth, marking the boundary that would define Rome. With the city's boundaries set and blessed, Romulus and his followers set to work building the first structures of Rome. Stone by stone, they fortified the Palatine Hill with what would later be called the Murus Romuli, or Wall of Romulus. But Romulus understood that, to truly rule, he needed the people's consent. With the support of his grandfather Numitor, he addressed the citizens, speaking of his vision for Rome, a city where people could find safety, justice, and unity. The people, moved by Romulus's words and inspired by his actions, agreed to recognize him as their king. To formalize his rule, Romulus performed a final sacrifice and prayed to Jupiter, the king of the gods. He sought Jupiter's blessing for his reign and for the city's future. With the gods' blessing and the people's support, Romulus accepted the crown, becoming the first king of Rome. Romulus ruled Rome for many years, expanding the city and strengthening its influence. Under his leadership, Rome grew into a powerful center of culture and military might, but even Romulus's story would come to an end. One day, during a gathering with his people, a sudden storm swept across the city. In the chaos, Romulus disappeared, taken, some say, by the gods. According to legend, he was lifted into the heavens by Mars, his divine father, to live as a god among them. Afterward, the people of Rome revered Romulus as a divine figure, calling him Quirinus and honoring him as one of the city's eternal protectors.